Hey, Airbnb hosts, if you're like me and wondering where your refund money is, you're going to want to watch this video and share it with other Airbnb hosts. I just got off the line with customer service and I've got some news for you. And I think I've also got 3 ways to make sure that you get your refund money before this is too late. I got on the line with customer service today. They asked me if I was okay with being on a recorded call. I said yes. And then I asked them this question in return. Okay, you are as well. Is that okay? Not to my surprise, they did not say that's okay. They asked me to stop recording. I get it. There's company policies, whatever. But at the end of the day, guys, here's the deal. Is I posted in Facebook, a few different Airbnb Facebook groups, and I asked like, hey, have you gotten your money yet? Because, here we are. I'm recording this on April 20th. And we were told middle of April we were going to start getting these refunds hitting our account. And I looked at my upcoming payments. I didn't see anything coming up. And so I just got curious. Very few people had anything positive to say when I posted this in the Airbnb groups. It seemed like a lot of frustration. It seemed like a lot of confusion. And so I decided I want to get to the bottom of this. I actually Instagrammed Brian Chesky asking if he would get on my channel and answer a few questions. I haven't heard from him. He probably doesn't even check his inbox messages. But if you do know Brian Chesky and you have a way to be able to get him connected with me, let's get him on the channel and talk about hey, what are the missing things here? Because I think there's 2 common things. People are frustrated and confused. There's so many different things that came out in that message in March when Brian, spoke to all of us and said, hey, I know, I was detached from the host and now I'm reattached to the host. I know your pain. And, a lot of people, unfortunately, saw that as smoke and mirrors. I'd like to be a little bit more hopeful. And I still believe I am hopeful on this. So I'm going to give you the 3 ways to make sure that you actually do get your refund money. But the first thing I want to make sure you understand is a few things that I learned in this customer service call. Now, first of all, one thing that I don't think has been communicated that well is that there is a website that's being updated all the time, airbnb.com/COVID-19. But with the $250 million that's supposed to be coming back to us, here's the few things that I figured out. So number one, if you are a host that canceled, because I don't know about you, I had a lot of guests that were saying, you need to cancel, you need to cancel. I didn't. I told them you need to cancel. And I'm glad I did, because essentially if you are a host that canceled anything during that time, you are not going to get any refunds. So sorry, that's probably not great news for those of you that did do that. I'm sorry to give you that information, but that was something that I learned. If the guest canceled, though, you are entitled to that 25%. Unless this is where the confusion has been. 25% of what you would have earned if there was no COVID-19 and someone were to cancel on you last minute. So if you have a strict policy, you're going to get a different payout than if you have a moderate policy. Then a moderate policy is going to get paid out from a flexible policy. Now, a flexible policy doesn't get paid anything, which is disappointing, right? But moderate policies, what I know is that if someone, gets out of a reservation a few days before, they're going to owe me a little bit less than if they cancel the day of. So depending upon what you would have been paid out on that, you get 25% of what you would have earned from the cancellation. So what it doesn't mean, and I had to correct this from one of my earlier videos, if you were going to get paid $100 for that reservation, if they stayed, you don't get $25 for the 25%. You get $25 of what you would have been paid if it got canceled. So if it gets canceled and now you were going to earn, let's call it $50 instead of $100, then you get paid 25% of the $50 rather than 25% of the $100. So basically what she told me on this call was, rest assured you will get paid, whether it takes 5 days, 7 days, or a month. But here's the 3 things that you can do right now that I believe will help you to make sure that you get those refunds. Number 1, look at your upcoming payouts. The upcoming payouts will basically show you what you got to do next. If there is a upcoming payout that is showing that's resolving a refund, then you're in the clear. If there's not, then you got to take this next step. Make a record of every single one of the cancellations that should be within your cancellation policy and reward you with a refund. So let me give you a real life example. I had a moderate cancellation policy, which means basically within 5 days of the reservation, if they tried to cancel, then they would owe me some amount. And so that means that I would be refunded on that. So Myra here, for example, on March 16th was canceling for a March 20th reservation. That would fall in those 5 days, which means that I should be getting something. So all I would do here is click on hers. And I would just make a record of her confirmation code, her name, and the dates. And I would just make sure to have that in a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet, and do that for every single one of the people that would fall into this refund category. And if you're watching this here, like on April 20th, 21st, 22nd, as long as it's before April 27th, basically, I wouldn't do anything with those records yet. But if April 27th comes around and you still haven't been paid for those, like I've got 14 different reservations that I'm expecting refunds for. If April 27th comes along and I haven't received any of those, or I've only received like one or two, then I'm going to take all those records. I'm going to call up customer service and I'm going to say, look into each one of these confirmation codes and tell me why I haven't been paid on them yet. And I think this is going to be the best way for you. You know, the way that Airbnb really works is they like proof. They like concrete things. They really like, as long as you show them proof, they're pretty good about paying you back. I see that all the time in the host guarantee. I'd like to think they're going to take the same approach here. So, hey, confirmation code, this person canceled within 5 days. I had a moderate policy. Why am I not been paid for that person? You know, they're dealing with thousands of these cases. It could just be a simple oversight right now. So these are the three things that I would do right now if you want to make sure that you get a refund. And honestly, guys, at the end of the day, I really hope that you're surviving all this. I hope that this is not something that has impacted you too much. I know it's been a really like sad event that's happened for not just the entire nation, but especially for Airbnb hosts. So I feel for you. If you even need to just like vent or anything, go ahead and message me, but I'm here for all of you. And we'll talk to you again.